All right, we back. Listen.
There's been a lot going on.
Yo, I was up. That Kanye Drink Champs interview was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, 2 hours and some change. And listen, there was a few things on it that he said he was a little bit off. Like they asked him would he do a versus against Hove. He said, nah, because that's my boss.
I would have never said that.
You know what I mean? Right? He said, nah, he wouldn't do it. That's his brother, that's his boss. They asked him would he do a versus with Drake. He said, hell yeah, he would. He invited. He said, actually,
I would smoke.
Look, actually, he said, I need to do a versus against 4 or 5 different people because you got to do the verses with the music in terms of like rapping, the verses with the production, the verses with the fashion. He's like, I got too many, to paraphrase, too many lanes that I occupy to just do one format verses. To which he was talking his shit. And I liked it. As he should. He deserved it. And then he was saying that the thing about him is that they made different versions of him, and him changing his name back to Ye is him reclaiming all of those lanes. He was like, they took a piece of me with Cudi. They took a piece of me with A$AP Rocky. They took a piece of me with Drake. He just started naming, they took a piece of me with Tyler, the Creator. You know what I'm saying? All of those guys come from basically the tree of Kanye creatively. Which is true. So now he said he's reclaiming himself, and with that, they spoke about the feud with Drake, and his issue was that everybody knew that Drake would do or say something, and he says what frustrated him the most was like Drake would do something like get a house like 5 blocks away.
Right? Drake's pettiness is, he's the king of the pettiness.
Drake would do something like
he in the Hall of Fame for the pettiness.
Right. He said Drake would do something like text everybody around me something without texting me. And everybody would know, so that way when they hear it in the song, he'd be like, what's this? And everybody looking at him crazy. Drake is on his Art of War shit, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, and that's the thing about my wife, you saying all this and that. Like, I would be better if you just hit, because then the speculation wouldn't run around in my mind. But Drake knows Kanye's disposition, and that's why he would do
I'm gonna keep it 100 with that part. Women and kids are off limits for me.
Right.
So that's where if you're playing with that, the gloves are off.
Right.
And now I'm going to do my best to make sure you don't eat. Right. And it's going to get real ugly. That's from me, from my end. Women and kids are off limits. So if you're talking about my wife subliminally, I'm coming at you in a different type of way.
Right.
So, I mean, I know Kanye's not like that. Well, who knows? I don't know. But for me, women and kids are off limits. That's why I think the way Pusha went at him was deserving. Because you crossed the line. And hence where I keep telling people, don't worry, Pusha won't let you down. It's hopefully this fourth quarter, we're gonna get that Pusha album.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he also said that it was something that he mentioned that was very interesting.
The disloyalty in this camp.
Not so much that. He was just, I mean, because here's how I think. With Kanye, you have to take certain things that he says and put it in one segment of the conversation box, and then a whole bunch of other stuff he said, you just gotta throw it out. You know what I mean? Because his mind just wanders into too many different frequencies. But the things that he does say that are poignant, even relating to politics, he has said something about, Joe Biden and the Democrats got so comfortable, they went on a Breakfast Club to basically say, if you don't vote for him, you're not black. How does he get to dictate that?
That's a fact.
Right? How does he?
I thought that was crazy.
Right.
And for the people who was sitting up there for the Breakfast Club letting that slide,
right?
I just was like, because I saw the clip and I was like, I know he ain't say that.
Right.
And then I saw it, I was like, oh, wait a minute,
nobody checked him on that.
I'm like, nobody didn't say, Joe, like, you need to pump your brakes right now, like,
right.
Just because somebody don't agree with your policies don't mean, and they don't vote for you, they don't mean they're not black.
Right.
Who are you to say that?
Right. And it showed up. Well, the shrapnel of that showed up, and there's the elections that just happened, and then wait till midterm. But that's another thing. Back to Kanye. So then Kanye was talking about how like the game is like the NBA, whatever, and there's different levels of evolution. He kept talking about Kobe and his relationship. Some of the stuff was tangible to the conversation. It just felt like it didn't work. But overall, man, I mean, what he made you do in this was he made you look at his accomplishments and what he meant to the game and his level of influence.
Yo, I'm a little biased because I'm a big Kanye fan. But yo, let me tell you something. I told people this dude's influence just in fashion. Because everybody, I'm heavy into fashion.
He talked about
Listen, his fashion stuff, yo, nobody can touch him. The simple fact that he took his shoe and made his shoe a household name, and that if you go to any urban neighborhood, only people that's wearing is Jordans and Yeezys. That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right behind the jump, man.
Like, he told people he's gonna make that shoe popular, and he's just talking crazy. No, it's a fact now. It's a fact.
Right.
That is that jump man, and then it's that Yeezy, and everything else falls behind it. That, I'm sorry, it is what it is. And that, people might debate that or whatever they see, they might debate. There is no debate. There is no. It's Yeezy, and then this is jump man. That is it.
Right.
So his fashion stuff or the high end stuff that everybody's wearing. Kanye was wearing it first. Everybody's making fun of him. His clothes is tight. Nobody can pronounce none of this stuff. Everybody's wearing it now.
Right.
Musically, producer-wise, like he goes through his highs and his lows. But like I said, it depends on what space he's in. Like everybody's not gonna be in the same space musically. But at the end of the day, he's still gonna give you some. He's gonna give you what you're looking for, depending on how it is. But at the end of the day, I'm just a little biased just because I'm a big Kanye fan. I think he needed to talk his talk that day. Air out Drake and some of the other stuff that was going on in his camp, people flip-flopping with him, and
Yeah, he said he sent the text message out to his wife, to Chris, to Hove, to everybody. He said, "Look, I make more money than all of you in this group text, so y'all owe me a trip." I'm like, that was a mean. He was flexing.
He needed
to do that.
He needed to do that
because anxiety issues, depression issues, mental health issues, and everything, whatever. Yeah, he has that because he's on that. I'm gonna say this just from a hip hop standpoint and a creative mind. He's on the genius level, yo. The diabolical genius. Your man said, "I don't like Black History Month because you just reprogram us to look at all the slavery and everything. How about having a Black Futurist Month, a Black Future Month?" I was like, damn, yo, that's crazy to talk about the things what we can do in the future with what we have now. Bro, that was the jewel of all jewels culturally that cements him to where he is. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the Kanye versus Drake fantasy battle the same way we did Hove and Nas, whatever, but that's gonna be interesting because he talked a lot of shit, but he was right.
He could back it though.
He was right. So yeah, that's our quick recap on the Kanye situation. There's gonna be more because there's gonna be some fallout from it, And it was a 2.5 hour interview. So
let me just say that, people got on Twitter real quick after they seen some of those clips. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. And I do think that Push is gonna step back into play. I do think Push gonna do that.
Majorly.
And Big Sean. But all right, we're gonna cut the break. And when we come back, are you a professional basketball player that's having issues with your owner? Call 1-800-YOU-RACIST. That's the letter U, racist. More on that hotline when we return.
Yes. So there was a hot take I would say probably the story kind of leaked out. I want to say Wednesday or Thursday about the Phoenix Suns owner Robert Silva. I don't know if hope I'm not mispronouncing his last name. This NBA writer for ESPN wrote a damaging article about him, and he interviewed. I think he said between 70.
Wait, who was the owner of the Suns?
Robert Silva.
Okay.
And he wrote the article and he said he'd been doing this research for about 2 years now. Since the bubble. So the Phoenix Suns knew this was coming. They interviewed about 70 to 90 people about how he's a racist, a sexist, he's just out of control, disrespectfully. He's like, you have a slave owner mentality. And just how the work environment was toxic. That's the key word here, toxic, okay? I read the article front to back. I have my thoughts on it. There's a lot of he say, she say in this where I know this is going to be the first thing that people are going to say is, oh, we got to get him out of here. We got to, make him tell the team. There's a lot of he said, where in the situation with Sterling, they had Sterling on tape. So it was a little like, all right, we heard you say it. You got to get out of here. In this case, the owner for the Suns, he's like, I never said this. He got his legal team. He's ready. He's ready to go to war with this.
Ready to fight.
But there's also another key component here where I need people to understand, if you're a fan of basketball, the NBA, CBA with the players and the owners is going to run out within the next 2 to 3 years. Prepare for a lockout. This whole, it's a players' league. The owners don't like it. The owners feel some of them have been under attack by some of these players by doing this player movement, and had to be talking about how some of the organizations being run. Some of the stories that was being said about this owner, he said some of these stuff is fabricated by disgruntled employees, which with some of them, I feel that they were. Some of them, I feel, first and foremost, I'm a man and I'm not gonna let no another man disrespect me. The hell with this job, you're gonna respect me, all right? So we're not really gonna play that. So I don't know how he was able to go into an office where Corliss Williams, the NBA, Corliss Williamson was in an office where he came in there, slammed a piece of stat line paper on the desk that belittled him about DeAndre Ayton's performance and lack of play, and he sat there and took that. Brother, you are 6'7", 6'8", 2 and some change.
Right.
Now, we're not gonna talk to me like that, because he stated that in the article that he took about 2 days to get to him. I don't know how it took you 2 days to get to him. You work as a coach on that team.
Right.
So I don't know how it took you 2 days to get to this guy, but whatever. Then there's Earl Watts, his side of the story about how the guy was using the N-word in the wrong way. He did say that. I kind of believe that story, but Earl was a little disgruntled how he got fired. Also, another underlining part of this story that what came to a little interesting to me, because this is where I said the lockout is going to happen. Clutch Sports is going to be the reason why the NBA is going to be on strike.
All right, let me jump into that. The 2023-2024 season, that's when the collective bargaining agreement is up for the players. So you're saying that's going to be the season for the lockout? 2 years away.
2 years away, lockout. Guarantee you a lockout.
So you're saying that because right now we've been in a player-driven league or a player-controlled where the players yield the most influence over how everything goes, that the pendulum is going to swing the other way and the owners are going to make sure it swings in their favor.
That's a fact. I really believe that. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel, because I feel a lot of the owners be looking at other people, especially now we got the Ben Simmons situation where he said, I don't want to play here no more. I got mental health issues. I'm not going to the team doctor. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Hence why I think the Phillies owner has not bent and is not going to just trade him. It's like, all right, he's ahead, let's get him out of here. He's not bending. You're going to sit here.
Right.
I think that was another issue that's what's going on in Houston that nobody's talking about. John Wall's just sitting on the bench.
Right. You told me
you're paying John Wall, I think his salary is like almost $40 a year this year.
Right.
So you're paying a guy to sit on the bench because, I don't want to be here, y'all rebuilding. Well, we'll sit here and we'll figure it out. So prepare for this. And people want to know why this is happening. Clutch Sports. Rich Paul, LeBron James is going to be the reason why this lockout is going to happen. I'm just letting y'all know that's the underlying. Hence where that part of the story was Clutch Sports interacting with the Phoenix Suns with Eric Bledsoe and Earl Watson, and they was representing both of them, and the conversation went left with the Phoenix Suns owner and Rich Paul.
Yeah, they got it out for Rich Paul.
Oh, boy.
Never have they ever had someone not come through the normal ranks of how to get
which I understand, it shook the old boys club up.
Yeah.
But what you're not gonna do with them is dictate to them how you're gonna run your organization.
Right.
Rich Paul told the Phoenix Suns owner, this is not tennis in the old boys club. You don't know what you're talking about. This is basketball. The owner of the Phoenix Suns complained about Eric Bledsoe being hurt all the time and his lack of performance.
Right.
Check the stats. Your client ain't that good, and you want a max contract for him?
Right.
Good luck.
Right.
Not here, you not.
And the thing about the article, what turned me off was once it got to the point to where they said that he used the N-word in front of Coach Watson, whatever. To me, the first time he said that, or the first time I heard it, would have been the last time he said it, and it wouldn't have been no report. Because that's just, that's not going to happen around me, right? And then you got the hotline, the 1-800 racist hotline for the NBA. Yeah, well, okay, folks, let me just say, there is an NBA hotline where you can report toxic activity in the workplace. It's not 1-800 racist, but there is a number. There is a number. But you got the NBA hotline,
yes.
You can use that. You have all of these tools to not
yes,
let it get to where
the NBA put certain things in since the Donald Sterling situation, and also the Philadelphia 76ers situation as well, with Jerry Colangelo doing the BS that everybody forgets about. The NBA put things in line where you have a hotline you can call and say, hey, listen, I got a problem here. I want this to be anonymous. This is where the article kind of, and the guy who was talking about the story, he was on an NBA Jump the other day, kind of lost me, because I'm like, yo, you interviewed all these people. You mean to tell me nobody went to the NBA and wrote an email or called that hotline? Listen, I was done with them and all this type of stuff when the Donald Sterling situation happened. You remember when, I think it was Golden State versus the Clippers, playoffs. Big time broadcast game. I think it was the Clippers.
Chris Paul was on the Clippers at the time.
Yes. I want to say it was the Warriors.
It was going to be a big prime time game, like a Sunday game, and everybody was like, all right, what are the players going to do?
Yeah, they just do the...
Are they going to protest?
Yes.
Are they going to play or whatever? It was prime time playoffs.
After it was the afternoon game, Sunday afternoon.
Television.
Sunday afternoon,
National broadcast television. The statement that should have been made was, we're not playing. We're not playing. You can put this on TV. We're not playing until you acquiesce to our demands. And instead of them protesting, instead of the Donald Sterling situation was happening, and instead of them boycotting the game and not playing at all, they decide to throw the jerseys in the middle of the floor. Nah, you lost me on that one, bro. You lost me. You lost me. You lost me. So anytime I hear anything about an owner in this type of situation, that was the opportunity, because they had all of the leverage. Broadcast games, Sunday, Saturday afternoon, America's watching. You could have got anything you wanted, and you would have stopped a situation like this with the Suns from continuing even further if it happened, because all of these accusations are alleged.
Right.
But y'all played, and that let me down.
It did, and to be honest with you, I think it was like a no-win situation for the Clippers, because like, we don't play, we're going to forfeit the game.
Oh, well. And then on top of that, in the article, the owner says, I didn't say it and I didn't write it. To which I gotta say that if you happen to be slightly racist, you think about writing it down. I've never written the N-word on a piece of paper. I'm sure you've never written the N-word on a piece of paper. I'm sure no one we know wrote that on a piece of paper, unless they was writing a rhyme, preparing for the verses, right? You know what I mean? So outside of that, nah, I'm not buying it.